up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video for you guys. Now this video blew my mind. So this kid is speaking some real truth, and I think in a lot of cases he's speaking more truth than a lot of these adults. So we're gonna play what this child had to say, and I definitely want you guys to chime in the comments. I want to get your thoughts on this one. I want to hear your opinions. I want to know what you think in the comments below, so make sure you are chiming in. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you like the content. Share and like the video, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Let's get into what this kid had to say. Here we go.
The main reason why people say this generation is cooked because of these new parents, bro. These young kids nowadays have no guidance, and it's actually sad. And it's because these parents want to be friends with their kids and act like that's their homeboy or homegirl. Like, they don't get that belts treatment no more because the system made that a crime.
Let him cook.
I feel like back in the day, kids had a certain amount of structure, you know? Because they knew if they did something bad, they was getting that stupid as soon as they came home. And it's a PSA to my mom. I was not talking about her. My mom is not a child beater.
No lies detected, y'all. Listen. That kid told the truth and nothing but the truth, okay? And there is a certain level of structure that these new generation of kids do not have because the parents are trying to be their friends. And I think that's a horrible mistake that has been weaponized. Having structure and, you know, chastising your kids, showing your children consequences has been weaponized in the system where you can't even do it. Parents aren't even allowed to do that. If they did, they could go to jail. So I think there's a level to it that weaponizes parents for being parents. At the same time, some of these parents are not even trying to lead and guide their children. They're trying to be the literal friends of their kids and, you know, listen to their kids and do what their kids want them to do. A lot of these new parents are not parents. They are essentially friends with their kids. And I think that is a problem that we're facing. A lot of these new moms are raising these children and coddling them in a way that is not beneficial for their growth, especially when we have a bunch of women. We also have a lot of women who are raising these children, single mothers who are raising these kids, and they're just letting these kids do whatever and then complaining about, you know, the consequences when they get older and they start to act out. These sons, they get bigger than the moms, and they start acting out because they don't have a father in the household. And then even there are cases where the mothers and the fathers are in the household, but they're still not being the parents that these children need. So I do think there is a lack of consequences for a lot of these kids. There aren't any consequences. They're not being, you know, taught the proper ways. They're not being guided in the right ways. Their mentors are celebrities. You know, they don't even look up to their parents or respect their parents. They're out here doing whatever it is that they want to do. These parents are feeling guilty and feeling like they have to cater to their children's every need and get them everything that they want, and, you know, because they missed out on certain things in life, and it's not really preparing them for life and teaching them the right values that they need in life. And I think it's important for children to have structure. I think it's important for children to respect and love their parents and to, you know, have their parents as their mentors, not Cardi B and not rappers and celebrities and athletes. I think your parents should be your first line of mentorship. Those are the two people in your lives that you should have the most respect for. I think your parents should be looked at as your guidance. And it's unfortunate because we do have children emulating their parents, but not in the ways that they should. We have young girls who are emulating their mothers who are dressing like 304s and following Cardi B and Sexy Red. We got kindergartens out here shaking it and popping it to Sexy Red and all these celebrities and these rappers thinking that is the way to go. And these parents are saluting that. They're praising that. They're laughing at it. They think that it's funny. So when you say this generation is cooked, they are, because it's a loss. They don't have any guidance. They don't have fathers. The mothers aren't even properly raising them. They're not teaching them the things that they should. They're leading them astray, and then they're complaining about the outcomes of where they end up. So I think this kid was spot on. I mean, he's wise for his age, because there are a lot of grown people who don't get that. There are a lot of grown men and women who don't understand that concept, who don't understand that you have to be a parent first. You got to teach your kids right from wrong. You got to lead them, and you got to let them understand that there are consequences for the actions that they choose in life. And you got to hold them accountable at a young age. You know what I mean? You can't just make them think that they can do anything that they want and there's no consequences. And then when they go out and create a problem or commit a crime, and they're crying saying it's not fair because they're used to getting their way, and then they end up in jail wondering what happened. That means there's somewhere along the line you went wrong in the raising of that child. Women talk about sassy men and men who act like they want to be women and all these type of things, but they were raised by women, most of them. Or they are soft men, or they don't know how to do this and they don't know how to do that, but they didn't have men to teach them because the women are the ones who raised them. The women are the ones who are saying they don't need a man. They can do bad all by themselves, but you didn't think the child needed a father? A lot of these women are walking away from the men and not allowing these men in their children's lives because you say you don't need them, and you got the child saying he don't need them, and then when the child is lacking certain things in life, then you want to complain about it and talk about them and you know, criticize them because they didn't learn these things because they didn't have a father. And even with a lot of the women who are in the young women's lives, they're there, but a lot of these women still don't have the basic skills of what it is to be a woman and how to present themselves as young ladies. You have your mothers in your lives, and a lot of these women still are lacking the basic things or basic knowledge of what it is to be a young lady, how to respect yourself, how you should present yourself out here. You know, they still don't have that, and the mothers are in their lives. You got women out here who don't even know how to wash themselves correctly. So I think a lot of parents have dropped the ball. They're not really focused on their kids. Everybody's out here worried about money and getting to the D, and your children are suffering as a result of it. Because honestly, a lot of times people are not thinking about the kids. They're thinking about themselves, their selfish nature, what they want and what they want alone. And then when the problems arise based off of your poor choices, then now it's everybody else's fault. It's this government, it's the system, it's this. These kids are stubborn. It's the kids' fault. And you have no part in it. You have no part to play in it at all. It's not your fault whatsoever. It's everybody else's, but except yours. So yeah, a lot needs to be done. You know, this doesn't just affect the mothers in these situations, but it directly affects the children. And I think if women and men would focus more on the children, then I think we would have more women thinking twice about creating these broken homes and bringing these kids here in these broken situations, knowing that it's going to be a struggle for you to raise that child by yourself and for that child to thrive with you being there. You're the only parent there that's there for them. Children, if it takes two to make them, it takes two to raise them. So we have to think about the future of these kids. It's not just about you and what you want, but it's about the kids as well. So listen, that child had more knowledge than more grown-ups. That child understood the assignment. He understood that this generation is cooked because of the parents. The parents are not raising these children properly, and they're not raised with two stable parents in their lives, and that is directly affecting them. So listen, I want to hear your thoughts though. Y'all let me know what y'all think about what he had to say. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your thoughts on this generation of children? Do you think they're cooked? Do you think the parents are the problem, or do you think there's something else that's causing a problem and why this is happening? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Chime in. I want to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.